Mic'd up.
Highlights from Lowlifes. Highlights from Lowlifes.
Welcome, everyone, to another episode of Highlights from Lowlifes. We have a special guest this evening. Rob Lanterman's joining us.
Hey, thanks for having me, guys. I feel like I've only done this 43 times, so I know I'm just getting the hang of it.
No, our friend Chuck Arthur is joining us. He does not want to be called special in any way, so he's our average guest star.
Thank you.
And we have Jeff Jones as well, and that cast of characters along with myself. We will be doing a fun show topic tonight. We're going to get back to our roots tonight and talk about things that really don't matter. Tonight, the top 5 baseball movie villains that you have seen in all the movie watching that you've done. Jeff suggested this topic a few weeks ago, and we thought it was a great one. And while I was doing my research, I found online a group of guys just like us who had a fantasy baseball draft of baseball characters from movies. It's absolutely hilarious. So I'll try to post that on the site for folks to see. All right. I think this is show 48. The Lowlifes are a group of baseball players from the Bay Area who got together during the pandemic to do Zoom calls for our mental health. And it evolved into these top 5 shows. And the folks at Mic'd Up have graciously allowed us to do a show once a week. And this is 48. So tonight, so we don't jump on Chuck right away. We're going to start with our top 5 baseball movie villains. Jeff, start us off.
All right. I could just pass and go to Chuck and put all the pressure on him, but I'll go ahead and pick.
Thank you,
So
Jeff.
I'm going to go right out the gate. Everybody who knows me knows one of my favorite baseball movies of all time. Bingo Long, Traveling All-Stars and Motor Kings. The villain is all the owners of all the regular league teams that try to conspire against Bingo and his team from doing their barnstorming because, God forbid, they're taking a couple bucks out of their pockets. They try to do everything they can to shut him down, including kidnapping the catcher played by James Earl Jones in a loose portrayal of Josh Gibson so that he can't help them win the big game, the stakes are basically they grant themselves a spot in the league and full ownership of the team. So that's my number 5 right out the gate, the owners of all the teams in Bingo Long.
Well, that guy's name, the main one was
Sally
Potter.
Porter.
Sally
Porter.
Porter.
Potter.
Yeah.
Potter.
Porta potty.
Yeah. Porta potty. Played by one of those character actors who you've seen in a million things and you would know anywhere. All right.
That goes along well with our theme from last week or a couple weeks ago, where the Negro League influence on Major League Baseball and the idea of those barnstorming tours.
Teams. Yeah. All right. Now the pressure's on.
It's me?
It's you.
All right.
What is your number 5 pick?
My number 5 pick is Alejandro Butch Hedo from Rookie of the Year. He was a guy on the Mets who got up when the kid was pitching and he goes, "You're no good. I know it. You know it." and then the kid pitches him an ephus that's up in the air forever, and it's coming down, and the Hedo's going, whiffs at it, misses it, strike 3, he's out.
Yeah, see, the folks at Mic'd Up, this is us once again encouraging you to allow us to do video so that we don't have to reenact the parts of the movie.
No, I think Chuck has instantly earned a re-invite just for that act out.
Yeah. Well, you got to describe it somehow. I lack the words.
And the character's name was Hedo?
Hedo.
Yeah, so you are a real hedophile.
Yeah. Yeah. Absolutely.
All right, Chuck, who's next?
I got. Let's go with Robbie.
Okay. My number 5 is actually supposed to be portrayed as the hero of this film, but I see him as the villain. Everything wrong with modern baseball is attributed to the character in this movie, Billy Bean in Moneyball.
Good choice.
Getting rid of the scouting department. I mean, for a guy that's never won anything and he's supposed to be this genius, let's go back to what I just said. He's never won anything. So Billy Bean making it sound like the reason they won 21 straight games was Scott Hatterberg and not the fact that they had a pitching staff that included 3 Cy Young winners. Billy Bean, to me, he's just the villain throughout that whole movie and everything wrong with the modern game of baseball. So there you go.
I thought about putting him in there somewhere too, but
I'm glad we're on the same thought process.
He's not typically considered a villain in that movie, though.
Yeah, he's supposed to be portrayed as the hero, but whatever.
You sound kind of bitter.
No, not at all.
My beer is bitter. My attitude is gold. All right. Well, I guess that leaves you, Webby.
All right. Let me finish up round 1 or round 5, shall we say.
Yes, we shall.
One of the finest films of all time, Benchwarmers from 2006. And there's several villains in that film. Of course, Craig Kilborn and Bill Romanowski playing terrible parents and coaches in the Little League. They were very good in their roles, but the real villain of the film was a character by the name of Carlos, played by Amaury Nolasco. Carlos was the evil owners and evil coaches' answer to the Benchwarmers themselves. He was an adult brought into the Little League to try to win. And here's a description of why Carlos is not good. In one 3-minute clip, we watched Carlos bribe an umpire, mash 3 taters, embarrass 3 hitters, make a catch in center field, and pick up a girl in the stands, all while putting down a half a bottle of tequila and smoking a hater. Go, Carlos.
Doesn't sound like a villain to me. Hardly sounds like a villain to me.
All right, let's move into round 4. Chuck, start us off.
Ooh, I get to start this one off, huh?
Yep.
All right, my number 4 is Roy Turner from Bad News Bears. Of course, he was played by Vic Morrow in the original one, but the funnier one I thought was Greg Kinnear in the newer version of Bad News Bears. It just because he's smuggling grapes. I mean, that's one of the funniest lines in the whole movie. It looks like you're smuggling grapes down there. Oh man. But any coach that gets up and goes out, talks to the pitcher, and pushes him to the ground, that's a villain.
Yes, yes, yeah.
So
that set the tone in the movie about who we're rooting against.
Yeah, pretty much. Mm-hmm. So that was my number 4.
All right, who's up next?
Webby.
Oh, right back to me. Okay. Let's see.
Sorry to catch you off guard there.
I'm gonna go. I have to rank them, Let's go to a 1994's Angels in the Outfield. This guy has been compared to the Joker and Thanos as 3 of the greatest movie villains of all time. I don't know that if I'd go that far, but Hit or Die Kessie played by Carney Lansford with a scar on his face. Lansford in the movie, or Kessie, was playing a hated villain from the Chicago White Sox who was trying to rain on the Angels parade. Um, Mel Clark, the pitcher for the Angels in the outfield team, played by Tony Danza in one of the worst baseball athletic performances ever. He gets Lansford or Kessie to line out to him to end any threat against the Angels moving on and in the World Series. So the portrayal by Lansford is actually very good. They do a good job of making him evil, even though he's one of the nicest guys in the world. So that's my number 4. All right, Robbie.
All right, number 4 for me is it's from the movie 42, and there's a qualifier here. I think it's not the person you think it is, and it's also sort of misrepresented in the movie. But if we're talking about movie villains, he was definitely a villain in this movie. Fritz Ostermuller. Fritz Ostermuller was the pitcher for Pittsburgh that hits Jackie Robinson in the head, knocking him to the ground, knocking him out briefly, starting the big brawl. Ralph Branca comes out to defend Jackie Robinson, and Ostermuller calls him a derogatory name for Italian people. It's pretty brutal in the movie, and I know there's a tougher scene, but Ostermuller was a real guy. The thing is that Ostermuller in real life actually did hit Jackie Robinson in the wrist, but he was known for hitting rookies in their first major league at bats facing him. Apparently, he was really not particularly racist of any kind. It just was portrayed in the movie to sell the story. So I hate the villain, but I sort of feel bad for the guy because he was just an old time hard baseball player that it was a rookie, he was going to hit him, and that was just the way it goes. So, and apparently he hit another Dodger rookie in that same game, and nobody said anything about it. So, uh, either of them. So, and no brawl and all of that stuff in real life, but in the movie, wow, he's a jackass. So Fritz Ostermuller.
Nice.
Jonesy.
So since you went with 42, I'll use my 42 pick. And I think it's the 42 pick that everybody is expecting.
Yep.
Manager of the Phillies, Ben Chapman, who decides to show Jackie Robinson what Philadelphia love really means. Yeah, that nice drum work there, Robbie.
Yeah. Brotherly love.
Yeah. And you if you haven't seen the movie, you can probably guess on how that goes with an extremely racist Southern man showing Philadelphia love towards the first black man to ever play Major League Baseball. And we won't repeat any of the words that were said, but it was vile and despicable and pure evil to show kind of. I don't know how accurate the movie was in the level that Ben Chapman took it to in the movie, but it kind of encapsulates everything that Jackie Robinson was going through in that one scene.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I think, unlike Ostermuller, that wasn't just to move the story along. I think that was pretty factual.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is that right? Wow.
The actor that plays that guy,
Alan Tudyk.
yeah, he's a great actor. He's a great character actor. Mostly does comedies. Um,
Yeah.
Is he that resident alien guy?
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yes, he is.
They were very concerned that this would cause people to, single him out and go after him.
Yeah.
It couldn't be a nicer guy.
Exactly.
Yeah, he said he had to get some therapy for that. It took a major mental toll on him, that role.
Yep.
So,
All right.
So I believe that takes us to the end of round 4, which I think is a cue for Robbie.
it is.
What happens now?
Oh
Well,
my.
now we got to ask a major important question. What you drinking? The highlights from Lowlifes, as always, are sponsored by our good friends at Almanac Brewing, one of America's premier craft brewers. If you're in Alameda, California, they are worth a visit. Their beers are outstanding. We all generally try to drink something different.
Eh.
Okay, generally, I said. So, and then we talk about the beers. So I am still on this warm 105-degree day with with the wind chill factor. It's 138. I'm enjoying this Almanac Buenas Vibras Mexican style lager, and right now this is going down way too easy. But it's an outstanding beer. I love their lagers and pilsners that they make. They make several different, but they're all really super flavorful and yet still easy and light to drink. So it's really the best of both worlds. So, Jonesy, if I had to guess,
I'm just going to let somebody else speak for me, shall I?
like Spando Ballet, this
What you
much is
drinking?
true.
A true Kolsch. Back to the favorite.
Yep.
Cheers,
Nice.
boys.
Nice.
JC was the one who first turned me onto it, and ever since we've been sponsored, can't stop drinking them.
Never saw
Almanac
that coming.
True Kolsch.
Yep.
Nice.
Chuck, what are you doing over there?
Well, I was looking for the true Kolsch because that sounded good to me, but I'm going with the Love Hazy IPA.
Very nice.
It's pretty good. I already went through 2 before the show started, and I plan on finishing the 4-pack.
Oh, nice. Going strong on his debut show.
Tasting the love, sharing the love.
They got the big Love now, so I'm gonna have to try that one too.
Yeah. All right. I'm drinking the West Coast IPA called "The Future Is Fluid" from Almanac. This one is awesome. This is one of the newer IPAs that they have, and while the Love Hazy is still my favorite, this is a very close second. And Robbie, thank you for these. These are much better than the sours.
No, you loved the sours and you love the
Wait,
stouts.
I love the
You
sours.
absolutely love everything you've ever had from Almanac, remember?
Remember?
Remember.
I think between the Love and the Juicy, there's a joke in there somewhere.
Yeah.
And the big love, I think Chuck mentioned the big love.
Yeah, the big love.
And the future is fluid.
All right.
Well, that's Let me finish the whole pitch.
Okay, go. Do your pitch, damn it.
Almanac, once again, Alameda, California. Again, one of the premier craft brewers in the country. Great beers. Pick them up wherever you can find good quality beers in your area. And if you have the chance, stop by the tap room and brewery in Alameda. It's a great place to visit. And tell them you heard about them from the Highlights from Lowlife show. They may take pity upon you. Thank you. I'll be here all week.
Try the deal.
Jeff, you finished that round number 4. So who's starting round number 3?
Let's go Robbie this time.
Okay. I think it's Rob mentioned it when we talked about the topic. Everybody was wondering if there were enough villains in baseball movies to make this a standalone topic. And Rob brought up an excellent point. In the movie The Natural, there's 11 villains alone. So we could have just done this show with The Natural. But I'm going to, honestly, one of my favorite actors played a nasty villain in this movie. And most of the other villains are pretty predictable. But this guy there was no justifiable reason for the way he was other than he was just a despicable person. And that is, I love Robert Duvall and Max Mercy and his cartoons, if you can see it. The way the sports reporter who drew the cartoons and just loved to gloat when Roy Hobbs failed.
Yes.
He had no skin in the game. He wasn't gambling. He didn't have any ownership with the team. He was just evil and tried to tear the guy down for no particular reason. So, Max Mercy, man. And I love Duvall, but boy, I wanted to punch him after that movie.
Yeah.
Chuck.
Okay. Well, I had this one at 4 originally, but I changed it with Roy Tanner. But also from The Natural, the Judge Banner the owner of the Knights, and just despicable way that he tried to talk Hobbs into throwing the game so that they could, he would have some ammo to move out of the city or do whatever he wanted to do with the team, and come to find out that he had done that with just about every player on the team. And I mean, that's just it was far worse than the female owner in
Major League.
Major League, yeah, because he wasn't even good looking, So.
Oh, he was far from good looking.
Well, it was so dark you couldn't see him in that room in that scene. So.
But that's what I loved about the film. That was one of my favorite scenes, is when Redford figures out, oh, this guy doesn't like the light, and he turns on the light before he leaves the bar.
Yeah. That was hilarious.
All right, Chuck, who's up?
Let's go with Jeff.
All right, I'll stick in the world of ownership. God, owners suck, don't they? This movie made this owner out to be a lot worse than he actually was. It's been documented that a lot of the things that was claimed in the book and in the movie weren't actually true. But Charles Comiskey in 8 Men Out, they put the blame on the gambling scheme on him for everything he was doing to the team. And some of it he did do. He was a penny pincher, but it wasn't as bad as they made it out to be. They made him sound like they were the worst paid. They wouldn't pay his players. They were the worst paid guys. Looking back on it, they proved that like 3 of the guys in the gambling scheme were in the top 5 paid in the league that year. So it wasn't about all the things that they said it was, but he wasn't great either. He skimped out on, after they won, and was it 2 years earlier, 3 years earlier, something like that. He just skimped out on any postseason bonuses or parties or anything like that. Skimped out on things in the clubhouse, team bus rides and hotels and things like that. But they made him out to be a real garbage person in that movie. So in the movie, Charles Comiskey is my villain.
Hey, Jeff, I think the actor that plays Comiskey is the same guy who plays the sheriff in Smokey and the Bandit.
Well, the big rotund fella?
No, that was Jackie Gleason.
That was
Jackie Gleason.
No.
What are you, Smokey and the Bandit 4?
No. Oh, no. I know what I'm thinking about. The guy from the sheriff in the Deep South in the James Bond movies.
Oh, yeah.
That's the same guy that plays Comiskey in 8 Men Out. My bad. I apologize to all the Jackie Gleason fans.
Yeah, oh my God.
Clifton James.
That's his name?
The actor's name is Clifton James, and yes, he's been in some Bond movies. He was also in Cool Hand Luke.
Yep. Yep. You make one mistake, and now I'm branded for life. Sorry.
Yep.
Apologize.
Yeah.
I'll never comment again.
Just for that, it's your turn.
Yeah. You're eastbound and down.
All right. So it's my turn. Okay.
Yep.
I'm going to go back to The Natural, because Robbie's right. There's so many bad people in that one. And the judge is probably the most obvious evil guy, but the guy that freaked me out the most was Gus Sands,
Mm-hmm.
the bookie, or as they call him, the supreme bookie, played by Darren McGavin.
Oh, yeah.
And he's kind of like the guy that comes into a room and stirs up shit and then leaves. And McGavin's role was great in this movie. He came to the producers and directors and said, my character needs to have some kind of physical deformity. So they gave him a glass eye. I don't know if you remember that.
Yep.
And that made him that made him real evil. So I was looking this up today, and I couldn't find Darren McGavin's name in the listing for the movie. I'm going, what's going on? I know he was in that film, just like I knew Jackie Gleason, before, remember?
Yeah.
And it turns out that McGavin was cast in the film very, very late in the game. They had already started filming the movie. And instead of trying to vie for top billing with other actors, he just says, make me uncredited. I don't care. So you have to look deep in the cast listings to find him, but he played that role great. He just
Oh yeah.
he connected one evil person to another evil person to collect on whatever Roy Hobbs did. So great character actor, loved it.
Yep. Good call.
Gus Sands. So that's
Nice.
my number 3. All right, who needs to go in this round yet?
I think that's the end of 3.
All right, let's move right into
Very
2.
good.
Okay. Jeff, start us off.
All right. I'm going to go with, so many choices, so many bad people. I'm going to go with somebody who's depicted throughout the movie as the villain, but turns out is not truly the villain at the end. And that is the Beast from Sandlot. The whole movie, they're scared of the Beast, and all they want is their baseball, and they come up with some pretty ingenious ways to try to get back that baseball. I couldn't come up with some of that stuff. And they get into the big pickle at the end, and he's just a big, lovable dog that wouldn't hurt a fly. Would act like it, but wouldn't hurt a fly. So I'm going with the Beast.
Yep. Good
Good
pick.
choice. Good choice.
Yep.
Very good.
The
Except
Beast
for
is
the slobber on the ball. That's
Yeah.
uncalled for. That's
And you gotta-
uncalled for.
The Beast is illustrative of the Alfred Hitchcock theory of the things you don't see are the scariest.
Yes.
Yeah.
They don't show the dog for the longest time, and just the horror that the kids have every time he's
Yeah.
around. So,
All right, Robbie.
all right, I'm gonna go back to the Bad News Bears. To me, Roy Turner is the obvious villain, obvious with his attitude and everything else. But the one that, even in real life, you can pick that guy out of the crowd and you can avoid him or handle him or whatever. You can spot that guy. The one that I thought was the nefarious villain is the pain in the ass, the smile at you while they're stabbing you in the back, looking at you in the face, stabbing you in the back. And that was Cleveland. Joyce Van Patten played Cleveland, the lady that kind of ran the equipment room, administrated the league, and all of that. She just was despicable, hated everybody, hated everything, made sure they got the crappiest gear, said stuff like, we do the banquet at the beginning of the year because once the season starts, we're not all so nice to each other. A lot of backhanded threats and things like that. And Cleveland was just a nasty little thing. I did not like her whatsoever. Like I said, you could pick the Roy Turner out of the crowd, but the Clevelands are the ones that'll get you.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
You remember watching the movie going, geez, there's a Roy in my league.
Yeah.
There's that one man, and then there's also a Cleveland in my league.
Yeah.
There's that mother that what do we call them now? Karens? Yeah, that
Right.
Karen.
So is she the same one that Buttermaker gets with in the second movie?
When Breaking Training? Because I discount the remake. That doesn't count in the canon of Bad News Bearsism. I mean, it's Bad News Bears Breaking Training and the Bad News Bears Go to Japan. That's it.
There's
3 fine films.
Oh.
All
right, Webby. We'll let Chuck close this round out. You go now.
Ooh.
All right. She's been previously mentioned, but I loved the role that the actress's name is Margaret Whitten, but she played the owner, Rachel Phelps, in Major League, the original movie. She was awesome. She wouldn't try to hide anything. She wanted that team to be bad so she could move them down to Florida. She wasn't a great individual in the first place. She didn't care about baseball in the least.
Right.
And I love the way that the Indians turned it around and made her the focal point to getting better and being a better team.
Yeah.
Remember the striptease poster where
Yeah.
every time they got a win,
We
they could
peel
take
a
off another
section.
piece of her clothing.
Why didn't they do that with Charles Comiskey?
Ooh.
Let me count away.
Yeah. Yeah.
But she played her role really well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that movie was solid because it played off the villains really well.
Yeah.
I liked her role. So
What do you
Margaret,
think? What do you think the worst thing she did was? I'm going with knocking on a cup, man. You don't knock on a guy's cup.
she didn't she slap the manager in the ass?
No, that was Serrano. She slapped.
Oh
him.
yeah.
Oh, yeah, Toronto, yeah.
I don't know. The plane she bought, that was pretty top notch for an evil
Yeah,
owner.
Yeah.
That's right. You know, the crappy plane. Yeah.
The taping of the
duct taped
propeller.
together.
The taping of the propeller was the kicker on that one.
Yeah.
This'll hold.
Yeah.
All right. So then it's up to Chuck, huh?
All right.
Personally, I think we got hosed on that call.
Hey, that's a good segue. My number 2, I'm going to go with a character from Major League 2, Jack Parkman. You guys remember that?
Oh,
one?
yeah.
Yeah. Good
So
call.
he starts out as the catcher for the Indians, and he gets interviewed, and he says, "I'm the only winner on the team. The rest of them are losers by choice or by birth." What a great teammate! Awesome. I'm gonna start saying stuff like that with you guys out on the field. So then they trade him to the White Sox, right? And he comes in and he blows up the catcher that replaces him in Cleveland. And he goes, "Welcome to the majors, hayseed. Next time, don't stand on the tracks when the train's coming through." That's pretty villainous, I think.
I think you're right. I always wondered if he was based on A.J. Brzezinski.
Yeah, maybe. He was played by that actor, David Keith.
Yep.
Yes.
And I've never seen him in anything else except Officer and Gentleman, where he committed suicide. And I was thinking that might have been good for this character in this movie.
So we were looking back, Chuck. This is very interesting. David Keith has been in a film with Keith David.
Yeah.
Oh, is that right?
Yes.
You never can trust a guy with 2 first names. Oops.
And Lincoln had a secretary named Kennedy, and Kennedy had a secretary named Lincoln.
Oh, shit.
All right, so that's the end of round 2.
Yep.
He said most certainly is.
Wow, we are really going fast.
Oh, don't worry. This will
Chuck, you
drag us down to a screeching halt.
Chuck, you haven't been with this. This is my favorite part of the show, and it really is great. It's called the bathroom break.
I thought it was off.
God, what is the holdup?
I thought it was offload reload.
Yep, offload reload.
Yes.
I already did all my offloading right before the show, so I think
I'm gonna spend the next half hour or so telling everybody about the other shows on the Mic'd Up platform.
Thank you, sir. May I have another?
And then we will finish up with round 1. So, Chuck, if you don't know the other shows on the platform, this is a great time to hear about them, because I get crap from the other guys. So this is good. All right. Earlier today, Jim Darby had a great show, which you should definitely take a listen to. Jim is a former executive from Easton and Mizuno. and he is telling stories each week from his career at Easton and Mizuno, as well as his time at Cal. He's involved with Cal baseball as well as an announcer. Today's show was devoted to Ricky Henderson, and I won't spoil the show for you. You should take a listen. It's only a half hour long, but Ricky invited Jim over to his house to show him the 380-degree panoramic view of his house. And Jim wondered where Ricky got the extra 20 degrees, but hey, it's okay. All right. Rick Barry Show is on pretty much every other week basis. Rick and his co-host Cyrus will cover everything NBA, collegiate, Olympic, and the new league that Rick is involved in, which is a 3-on-3
Sounded more like firecrackers.
Yeah, Rick is coaching a team in the 3-on-3 league, and so he's giving some excellent viewpoints on how that league's working. And of course, he knows everything going on with the Warriors and is happy to share his opinion. It's a fun listen, and Rick and Cyrus will get to every question or comment that comes their way. The Florida Sports Hall of Fame show, which has been on hiatus while one of the hosts is recovering from some minor surgery. But John Rieger and Barry Smith have been doing some shows about members of the Florida Sports Hall of Fame, including Fred Biletnikoff and Wade Boggs and several others. They have great insights. They don't ask your typical questions about when they have a guest on there. Really great shows. You can find those in the archive here in the Mic'd Up app. And finally, Robbie, you queued up our friends at Yankees Coast to Coast. Mike Miller and Adam Schneider, one on each coast.
Mike Miller?
That's right, Mike Miller.
Adam
the two
Schneider.
of them share everything you want to know about the Yankees and a lot of stuff you don't want to know about the Yankees. Each week, the show revolves around one topic, and there's always the ability to stump the host with a trivia question, which is surprisingly easy, what I found. But Adam and Mike are true Yankee fans, Yankee fantasy campers. They know the insides of the game pretty well, and they're a fun listen. So they are on virtually every Thursday night, but I don't see them scheduled for tomorrow. So maybe they're taking the holiday off. Anyway, those are the current shows on the platform. Please support Mic'd Up and Almanac Brewing. All right, let's get to round one.
Nice.
Who is your number one best villain of all time in movies? All right, who ended that round?
Horseshack looks like he wanted to go. Does it matter? I think he's trying to get somebody in before somebody else takes it.
Exactly.
Horseshack, go for it.
Go for it, Chuck.
I'm assuming that you guys probably all picked the same thing. So I'm going with Major League and Clue Haywood.
Oh, yeah.
Leads the league in most offensive categories, including nose hair. So, you gotta love that guy. He comes up to bat and he looks at the catcher and he goes, "Hey, how's your wife and my kids?" So I'm gonna start using that in our league games. See how that goes over.
I feel like we've taken Chuck down a dark path.
No, we didn't take him there. We just opened the gate and let him run.
Yeah, that's right. We opened the gate. I like that.
Yeah. And that's number one for me because it's just freaking hilarious. That dude was actually a Cy Young winning pitcher, actor who played that part. And so for him to be playing a big hitter, a pitcher's worst enemy, was just freaking hilarious to me. So it was good.
Yep, good pick.
That was Pete Vukovich at his finest.
Yeah, Pete Vukovich.
Yep.
The mustache alone.
Yeah.
Excellent choice.
I think the mustache got an acting credit.
Exactly.
All right. Who's up next, Chuck?
I'm going to go with you, Webby.
All right. I don't think anybody else will choose this as their number one villain, but I think they'd be hard pressed not to in an argument. I'm going to go with 1958's Damn Yankees and Mr. Applegate. Mr. Applegate, who is the devil, couldn't be more evil, played by Ray Walston from My Favorite Martian. Come on.
Nice.
Ray Walston is the guy that talks Tab Hunter, or Joe Hardy in the movie.
Can I stop for a second?
Yes, you may.
The reference for most of our audience to Ray Walston as in My Favorite Martian is lost. He was also Mr. Hand in Fast Times at Ridgemont High.
There you go. Now
everybody
I
knows
know
who
who
he
you're
is.
talking about. No problem at all.
All right,
Very good, very good. I'm
continue with
sorry,
your
Robbie,
little
you're right.
soliloquy.
I needed to move into.
Insulted him and corrected him.
Yeah, I've got a demographic problem. So during my extensive research of the film, which I have actually seen on Broadway as well, Tab Hunter wants to be a Major League Baseball player, and Mr. Applegate says, "I can do that for you, but I want your soul." And in the original film, when Joe Hardy ages, the actor that plays him is Washington Senators all-star first baseman Roy Sievers. Bet you didn't know that. See? You learn something every day.
You do, whether you need to or not.
So listeners of the show will now know who Mr. Hand is, as well as Roy Sievers. So I'm going to go with my number one is Mr. Applegate or the Devil. All right.
Nice.
Jeff.
All right. All my number ones and backup number ones have all been chosen. So I'm going to go with my joke pick that I put on here. And I say joke pick. This is very dark humor. I'm going with a very dark joke here. And you guys may not like it, but I thought it was funny. I'm going to go with the villain from Pride of the Yankees, ALS.
Oh man.
Yeah.
Yep.
You're right. Nobody's rooting for that.
Pure evil. Pure evil. Yeah.
All right, Jeff. I'm going to give you a chance to dig yourself out from under.
Can you say anything else? Took one of the greatest ball players from prime of his life.
Yeah.
Yeah, no kidding.
I'm sorry, I didn't prep anything to go along with that.
That's probably best.
Okay, let's do this, Jeff. What does ALS stand for?
I can't pronounce it.
I don't think that's it.
It stands for Lou Gehrig's disease.
Yes. To have a disease named after you, it's like, yeah.
Yeah.
Mm.
All right, I'm getting out of here now. Robbie, go for it.
Well, it's kind of a perfect segue because I think one of the most underrated baseball movies of all time is Bang the Drum Slowly with Michael Moriarty and Robert De Niro. And I mean, the villain in that one, there's a couple of people that treat him, poorly because he's a bumpkin, but it's cancer, right? It's got to be cancer. I mean, we're dealing with that right now too. Yeah. So, it's not like that thing is welcome around the house.
Exactly.
So, yeah, I mean, for a guy that a journeyman catcher trying to hang on starts to hit his stride a little bit and then has that happen to him. I mean, it's just it's a horrible, horrible thing. And it's treated very well and delicately in the movie. But it's a horrible thing all the way around. So,
yeah.
Yep.
So right off the ALS. I was the one that wasn't laughing, Jeff.
All right. I think we finished all 5 rounds. but
Mhm.
we have listeners. We actually
Yes,
have
we do.
listeners and commenters. If any of you would like to send in a comment right now, hit the microphone at the bottom of your screen and send us a comment about your favorite baseball villains. In the meantime, Robbie, Jeff, one of you, could you play in the comments we've got?
I got a
All
beer in
right.
my hand. Jeff's got to do
Oh,
it.
God forbid. I've seen you drink. You need your full attention.
Yes, absolutely.
Well, I can do it if you're incapacitated.
I got.
Well,
We're gonna start with Big Juicy. You ready?
Chuck's had 4 IPAs and he can still say incapacitated.
Hey,
Did I say it right?
He's
Yeah.
doing better. He's doing
Yeah.
better than Marty usually does.
Yeah, like,
Marty.
Look out, Marty. Words matter.
All right, Big Juicy, starting us off.
Hey, we're a day away from the 4th of July, and talking about baseball, it doesn't get any better. So let's start off with number 5, Ben Chapman, the Phillies manager in the movie 42. Number 4, Judge Kenneth Mountain Landis in the
Oh,
movie
yeah.
8 Men Out. And
Oh, yeah.
number 3 would be Pop Fisher in the movie The Natural. Number 1 and 2 coming up.
I'm
Wait a
not sure
minute.
he meant Pop Fisher.
Yeah, Pop
Yeah.
Fisher's a good guy.
Yeah, because
Yeah,
it's like, I should have been a farmer.
Big Juicy, we'll give you a chance to leave a comment and amend that statement if you
I
care
got
to.
a feeling he meant the judge, but
Yes,
Yeah.
yes, yes.
All right, let's find out how Big Juicy finishes this.
And number 2 would be that man you'd love to hate, Mr. Burns, and the Simpsons episode Homer at the Bat. In this episode, Mr. Burns is
That's a good
building
one.
a softball team for the nuclear power plant, but he's using pro baseball players and trying to cheat his way to a victory. And number 1 is the owner of the Dallas Felons in the movie Basketball, Baxter Kane.
Oh shit!
What-
we got a basketball reference.
One of my honorable mentions was Baxter Kane from Basketball.
The Dallas Felons.
Very nice.
Uh,
And our other main contributor here, Mr. J.C. Penny. Come on.
JC here. This may shock you, but all my 5 villains are from one movie series.
I can
From
imagine.
Major League 3 back to the minors. Setup is an angry baseball players chasing reporters out of the locker room in Minnesota with a bat. A teammate asked Rube Baker, "Who's that?" He says, "Carlos Liston, resident madman and cleanup hitter."
So it's Major League night here on Mic'd Up.
Yeah, but Major League 3 wasn't even released in theaters.
yeah,
Oh,
I
they
think
had
that
a
was-
Major League 3?
Yeah.
oh, yeah. As they call it at Blockbuster, straight to video.
Yeah.
Oh, I see.
And here it goes.
JC, again, number 4 from Major League 3, about to be manager of the Buzz, Gus Cantrell, is standing with his back to a speaker. He hears the voice, and he says to his girlfriend, "Slick guy, overdressed, helmet hair, ass-eating grin?" She says, "Yes." He says, "Leonard Huff."
Wasn't that Scott Bakula?
Yes, it was.
Was it?
Good pull.
Oh my god!
Yeah, it was like, did he quantum leap into this movie?
Mm, that's why Quantum missed it. Apparently.
Number 3 from Major League 2, Jack Parkman. Lou Brown
Oh, yeah.
to Parkman. "Parkman, I saw your little interview in this morning's paper. You're benched for 2 games, and if you ever rip your teammates again, save it." "What'd you say?" "You ought to listen to the radio more often, Lou. Your biggest gun just got traded to Chicago. Au revoir."
That's right. That's right.
That's right.
You got traded during the film.
And
Yes.
can I say, if you ever have the opportunity to see JC's one-man show of the Major League trilogy, it's really worth your time. It's a dinner theater production. You can usually see it in Turlock.
Yeah.
or as he coaches any team at any of the tournaments that we play.
Yes.
Robbie,
He's
the
good
worst,
though. He's good. It gets us fired up.
yeah, Robbie and Chuck. The worst part though is the costume changes.
Yeah.
When he goes into Rachel Phelps, look out.
Oh, oh.
I really have a problem with his Pedro Serrano.
All right. His number 2 was on my honorable mention.
JC with number 2 from Major League 1. Harry Doyle says, Horton's wasting no time. He's going right to the Duke. The Duke threw at his own kid in a father-son game. Duke was played by Steve Yeager in the movie.
Yep.
Yeah.
And wrapping it up,
Number 1.
And number 1's got to be from Major League, Clu Haywood of the Yankees.
Yeah.
Harry Doyle says, Haywood leads the league in most offensive categories, including nose hair. He sneezes, he looks like a party favor.
very nice.
Oh man.
Oh, no question.
And that's it for our comments.
All right, guys. Honorable mentions. Things that didn't get mentioned during the show.
Ooh, 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 ooh.
All right, Horshack. Horshack, what do you
Mr.
got? for us?
Carter, Mr. Carter.
All right. Well, this one's not baseball, but I ran across it while I was researching for the baseball, and it was just a sports villain, and it reminded me of this, and it made me laugh. This has got to be my number 1. Shooter McGavin from Happy Gilmore.
Jesus.
When he goes, you can't beat me. I eat pieces of S like you for breakfast. And Happy Gilmore goes, you eat pieces of S for breakfast? And a long pause, and he goes, no.
You've said shit like 5 times tonight, and now you choose to say S word.
Did I really say shit 5 times?
Wait till you watch the tape.
Oh man!
Wow.
Yikes! I need a filter. Can you guys filter that?
It's good to know that this is our last show. All right, so all of you need to take a look at the link I sent you earlier, and I will share it with our audience. These guys are going through a baseball draft of characters from baseball movies. They're trying to create the best team ever, and somebody got off track because you needed a player at every position, and they said, well, DH, they don't have to have any baseball talent, they just have to carry a bat. So the top 3 picks in the draft that went were Harley Quinn, Danny Donowitz, or Donnie Donowitz, from Inglourious Bastards. That's the guy that carries around the bat and beats up Nazis.
Yeah.
And guys, I apologize. The baseball team from the Warriors.
The baseball baddies.
Yes.
The baseball baddies.
Yes.
Just
What?
Yes.
Wait a minute. What happened to Negan from The Walking Dead?
Oh, good pull.
You got to be kidding me.
Hey, you know what? I'm going with the Warriors.
All right.
I'm going with
Negan's
the
in there.
baseball
Negan's
baddies.
I did like the Harley Quinn.
Yes.
That was a nice one.
Yeah, but she couldn't hit a curveball.
All right, Robbie, Jeff, you got any others?
I got a couple.
Yeah, I do too. Go ahead, Jeff.
Chick Gandil from 8 Men Out, the ringleader of the betting scheme.
Yep.
Yeah.
On the player side, yeah.
The bankers from Field of Dreams.
Oh yeah.
Want to close down on the mortgage.
Timothy McVeigh, or not McVeigh.
No,
That's the guy that blew up the
Timothy.
building. Yeah.
Yeah,
He.
him.
The funny thing is he's the anti-baseball guy in that movie. He actually lives in Sacramento and plays in the MSBL baseball league out
Yeah.
there. Like
Who?
he's a huge baseball guy.
Who is this?
The brother-in-law in Field of Dreams, like for some reason I can't think of the guy's name now.
Tim Busfield.
Busfield.
That's it, Timothy Busfield.
Oh,
Yes.
no
Busfield.
kidding.
Yeah.
He plays out in
Yeah.
Sacramento. Like he's a huge baseball guy and loves to
Yeah.
play in the leagues. Like
Yeah.
he's just a regular baseball guy.
His best film ever, of course, was Revenge of the Nerds.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. And then my
clap
last.
your hands, everybody.
Yeah.
Everybody, clap your hands.
And then my last honorable mention is the Astrodome staff who tried to stop the game when the Bad News Bears were playing in the Astrodome.
Yeah, in breaking training, yes.
Yes. All right, Robbie.
I had Bump Bailey
Mm-hmm.
from The Natural, the
Mhm.
self-serving ball player. 61, it's a very small part, but in the movie 61, Del Webb, who was the owner of the Yankees, yes, that Del Webb owned the
Ah.
Yankees at the time,
Hmm.
tried to force Ralph Houck to change the batting order so Mickey Mantle batted ahead of Roger Maris, so Mantle could be the one that broke the record.
Oh,
So true story, but I mean, that
Nice.
makes him a villain in the movie.
There you go.
And then lastly, organized baseball is the biggest villain in the Battered Bastards of Baseball. The story of the independent league Portland Mavericks that Portland had a minor league team for years. They failed. They couldn't draw anybody. Bing Russell, Kurt Russell's dad, went up there and put together this team of never was's and made them fun, made it great, and started selling out the stadium. And as soon as organized baseball saw that crowds would show up in Portland, they came and took the team back or purchased the rights to Portland again for baseball, and that was the end of the Mavericks. But and that's the one time I really hated baseball because those guys were doing it right and for the right reasons.
Yeah.
There you
Yep.
go.
And then, of course, you could go with Peppermint Patty.
That's true. That's true. I didn't think of that.
She's kind of like Cleveland, really nice to Chuck, and then just beats the hell out of him on the baseball diamond. Sorry about that one, Chuck.
Well, at least she doesn't yank the football out from.
Yeah. Or just go to the mound to completely berate him.
Yeah.
I'm used to being berated on the mound.
You're kind of X-rated the way you're talking tonight.
All right. Any others?
I think we covered it.
Yeah.
The
it
only
is
other one I
interesting.
could think of was Walter Wambold from The Natural, or also known as the Whammer,
The Whammer.
The Whammer.
played by Joe Don Casey.
Yep.
He's the Babe Ruth-like mythical
yeah.
character that is the best baseball player in the world, and nobody can throw a fastball by him. And Redford takes him on, and a little lot off the side of the railroad station, and there's a bet going on, and scouts are there, and the Whammer didn't get a hit that day, and that did not go over well.
Yep.
That was the start of The Natural. So
Good call.
The Natural still. I mean, you've got Barbara Hershey shooting Roy Hobbs.
Yep.
Just because she wanted to kill the greatest athletes. They remember the whole backstory on her, and then Kim Basinger.
Yeah.
Pretty much everybody not named Robert Redford or Pop Fisher or what's his name, the other assistant coach. Pretty much everybody's a bad guy in that movie.
Yeah.
So we just have to remember that Big Juicy had 11 or 12 different choices in the movie, and he chose a good guy.
That's going to be remembered.
I should have been a farmer.
Not as remembered as Smoking the Bandit, but remembered.
Yeah.
Hey, I was able to read. What'd you say his name was? Clifton Daniel or something like that? Yeah,
Clifton Davis, I think, right?
Clifton James.
Yes,
James.
yes. Look him up.
So he's
Totally
British
evil.
too?
All right, folks. Anything else?
Thanks for having me on, guys. Appreciate it.
Hey, you've redeemed yourself. You've done really, really well. In fact, I'm thinking maybe you replace one of these other guys.
What?
Uh-oh.
No.
Oh, wait.
Uh-oh.
Oh,
We got
now
a
look,
big
here it
juicy
comes.
Big
thing.
Juicy has
Oh.
chimed in, and he's
Oh, here.
blaming some other technology.
Yes, he
Chat
is.
GPT.
Damn
Yeah.
GPT.
So I didn't know you could use Chat GPT to call into this show.
All right, hey folks, thanks for joining us. We'll be up here next week on July 10th with another show. I don't know who will be hostings, but there'll probably be 3 or 4 of us, and we'll be talking about some kind of fun
Cool.
topic like this. Thanks for joining us. We'll see you next week. Play us out, Robbie.
Oh, yeah. Wait. Say
Oh, wait.
something about Almanac Brewing, one of America's premier craft brewers, Alameda, California. Once again, stop by them. Thank you for sponsoring us, Craft Brew Specialty Maker Almanac Brewing.
I've had 4. I've had 4. I've had 4.
I'm trying to catch up.
Vamp, Rob. Vamp.
I'm trying to catch up. I'm working very hard at catching up with you.
From Lowlifes.
So long.